I think as pastors, we cannot be naive enough to believe that everyone sitting in our pews is reading the Word. Even people who have been in the church for a long, long time. So it would seem to me that any discriminating pastor who loves their fellowship and wants to do right by them would be willing to hand them a tool that is proving itself to be effective for a broad spectrum of people, people who don't normally read the Word, people who don't read at all, offering them a tool, and then be willing to be the one who gets behind it to present it and carry the banner, lead the way, and make it something that you regularly speak of if you want it to be successful in your congregation. When you're communicating something to a congregation, when you're introducing a new idea, we've learned over the years that just telling them once, maybe even twice, is really not sufficient. So we've learned to this idea of what we call north winding the idea. And it's as if you can sort of feel the breeze. It kind of comes in with the wind. The wind sort of blows the idea in. Before we actually execute it, we begin talking about it. When we actually are ready to launch it, it's not a new idea. They've had time to soak in it for a while and to grasp the idea or ponder it in their own minds or come and ask questions about it, so that it makes the launch much more successful for us if we will north wind an idea, particularly if it affects the whole of the congregation and if it's a larger scale thing that we are trying to promote within our fellowship. We north wind it first. Just start talking about it. And then most any week, all the way through our 16-week journey, I don't think a week went by that we didn't reference it in some way. It was never far from us in our conversation. It was always there. It was something that we were actively involved in, and every week we were involved in conversation, both from the platform or in book clubs that were taking place around our campus, in our community. Everything was pointing back to what we were doing as a congregation. Another thing that we did was to make sure that if they happened to get behind, that was okay. We made it okay. But we were always encouraging them. We're at week 5. Okay, you're only on week 2. Come on, jump on with us at week 5. You can make that up later. You can catch up later with that. We want you with us in this journey.
Sometimes when you are looking for materials, you have to have a curriculum, you have to have a training, you have to have people preparing for classes. But with this version, just reading the Bible, I mean, how much easier can it get? Let's just read. And the fact that also it's a walking along experience.
I had to do very little to promote the idea of book clubs. We did explain when we initially rolled it out that it would be a book club format if you chose to be involved, as opposed to a Bible study format where there is a teacher. It would be more collaborative in its discussion.
What did the Lord spoke to you? Is there something you didn't understand? But it was something that we walked along. It wasn't just, I have to spend 40 hours preparing for this class and looking for meanings and coming up with illustration. It was so much easier just to have that in such a great material. I mean, nothing added, nothing taken off. It's just the pure Bible. So it was really, really great.
We didn't force it on anybody. We just made it available. And they took it and made it work for them, which is also the beauty of Immerse. It's very customizable to your fellowship, to your church, to your people, and the different kinds of people, different groups of people within your fellowship and how they want to approach the Word. That's what made it so beautiful and so successful for us.
I would like to recommend really this Immerse Bible experience. And more than just saying it's a book, it is an experience that really made a huge impact, a very positive impact in our congregation. To have an experience where we're all going to go together with it. It's so helpful and so great that I highly recommend it, that everyone should try it.